Lisa and her friend James are looking for breathtaking natural beauty and decide to spend the weekend at a campsite on a secluded lake. The location they chose was a tranquil lake surrounded by magnificent forests, its waters sparkling in the sunlight. The air was fresh and the surrounding trees were colorful, signaling the change of seasons. After pitching their tents, the couple went for a swim in the lake and enjoyed a picnic-style dinner on the shore at sunset. The homemade sandwiches prepared by Lisa and the fresh fruit brought by James had a special taste in the natural surroundings. However, as the sun went down, the sounds of creatures coming from the forest began to grow increasingly eerie. The sound of rustling branches and the sense of movement in the distance made them feel uneasy. As the night deepened, Lisa repeatedly saw a shadow passing outside her tent. They tried to suppress their fear and somehow fall asleep, listening to the sounds of the night. But her anxiety gradually turned to fear, and she had sleepless nights. The next morning, Lisa left her tent, looking out over the clearing lake, and found the campsite in disrepair. Their food was scattered and James' precious camera was savagely destroyed. Additionally, all of the car doors that they had thought were securely locked were found open, and the keys that Lisa had kept safe in the tent were inexplicably found half buried in the dirt. As they quickly prepared to leave, Lisa asked James for an explanation of what had happened, but he remained silent. Lisa couldn't help but suspect that James knew something. His attitude was different than usual. He seemed evasive, as if he was hiding something. So Lisa decided to sneakily check James' bag while he was out. She began searching through his bag, thinking there might be some clues in there. Her hand reached deep into her bag and found an old map. The map showed the area around the campsite they had visited. But I noticed that some specific locations were marked. Along with the map, they also found tools that appeared to be used in strange rituals. These discoveries confirmed Lisa's suspicions and strengthened her fears that James was hiding a big secret. She prepared to question what purpose these items served and why James had them. Lisa confronted James about her discovery, but he tried to justify his actions, and a rift developed between them. The campsite they visited was quiet and had a mysterious beauty to it. But something unsettling started to spread, and Lisa confronted James. "What are these? Why do I have these?" Her voice was trembling. James was embarrassed but tried to justify his actions. "It's just a hobby. I'm not doing anything wrong." His face showed confusion and displeasure. But Lisa couldn't believe a word he said. The moonlight reflected in his eyes made it seem as if he was hiding something contrary to what he was saying. Tensions between the two grew. Lisa looked James in the eyes, wanting to know if he had unearthed some old secret, or if this horrible event was his doing. "Why did you come to that place? Tell me the truth." But James remained silent, and his silence planted even more fear in Lisa's heart. His avoidant gaze and refusal to respond made Lisa feel that they were being drawn into some unknown force. Lisa's anxiety reached a boiling point when she thought she could hear the occasional animal noise coming from deep within the campsite, breaking the eerie silence. Lisa wasn't sure if they had unearthed some old secret, or if James was behind the events at camp. This incident left a deep scar not only on their relationship, but on Lisa's heart as well. Lisa has decided to distance herself from James, but the events of that night still haunt her. What should have been a weekend spent admiring the natural beauty of the surrounding area turned into an unforgettable and terrifying experience. After returning home, Lisa's mind was filled with anxiety and doubt. The events at the camp left a deep scar on her heart, and her trust in James was shaken. She could sense in every one of his actions that James was hiding something, and she could no longer be convinced by his words alone. She felt a deep rift between her and James after the vandalism at their campsite, and began to seriously consider the possibility that he may have been behind the events of that night. This incident has cast an indelible shadow not only on their relationship, but also on Lisa's heart. As Lisa re-examines her relationship with James, she begins to investigate the mysterious events at the campsite. While researching old newspaper articles at the local library, they discovered that the place where they had been camping was once the site of mysterious rituals. Furthermore, it turns out that the ritual has a dark history linked to disappearances. Deep inside her, a strong determination arose that she needed to find out why James had the map and what his true reasons for taking her to that place were. But the search for answers would uncover a truth I had never imagined. Lisa's investigation deepens, and she eventually learns that James was involved in a disappearance case in the past. Furthermore, it became clear that the reason he had such a special interest in the place was because his family had deep ties to the rituals there. James was trying to overcome his past, but at the same time, he couldn't let go of his sinister past. Now that Lisa knows the truth, she is torn between anger and sympathy for him. But the trust between them has completely disappeared. Now, when that secret is revealed, they are drawn back to that place once again, this time to face an even darker secret. Then Lisa and James face the inevitable. In their search for secrets, the pair discover that the land is held captive by an ancient family curse. The ceremony that took place there was a price James' family would have to pay for generations to come. Suddenly, spirits from the past begin to emerge from the lake's surface, and Lisa and James decide to face the truth. But that determination led them to even greater fear. The spirits beg for release, and the couple's fate is sealed forever in the depths of the lake. That night, Lisa and James proceeded to the lake to satisfy the spirits' desires. The mist rolled in and the water surface glistened silently. As they reached the center of the lake, the water suddenly began to ripple, and a strong gravitational force pulled them underwater. In the darkness and cold, they held each other's hands tightly. But the moment a sudden light enveloped them, everything returned to silence. The next morning, Lisa and James' footprints were found on the lakeside, but they were nowhere to be found. The lake was once again serene and sparkling, and held deep ancient secrets. Despite subsequent searches, Lisa and James were never found. Locals began to say that they could occasionally hear two voices coming from the center of the lake, as if they were still stuck in the depths of the lake. And now no one goes near the lake anymore. The ancient secrets they touched still lie quietly, sleeping at the bottom of the lake. Their fate became one of the countless secrets the lake guarded.